near, far, wherever you are. Now we're back to Huffle and stuff. Hi everybody, welcome back. Part 18.
What's our next move, Commander? Head for the Mu relay?
So here we are. Told you. Just go straight back to the ship. Don't bother with Noveria. Never bother again. Not so fast.
The relay could link to dozens of systems. Unless we know exactly where Saren's going, we'd just be wasting our time.
The commander is right. We cannot rush off blind. We still need to learn more about Saren.
Who put you in charge? Did the commander resign when I wasn't looking?
That face. Oh god, that face. Alright, this is a weird argument they're having. It's not an argument, she's being sassy. I don't feel like yelling.
We're all on the same team here, Williams. She's just trying to help.
Sorry, Commander.
It's okay.
Look, this is a tough mission. We're all on.
I think Ashley's my favorite.
Everyone go get some rest. Crew dismissed.
Of the first game, probably.
Noveria report is away, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Is this report accurate, Commander? You found...
You can constantly hang up on them, by the way. I probably should have mentioned that.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
They get mad regardless.
Generations until they overrun the galaxy.
Not my problem.
This queen is different. She understands why her kind had to be wiped out last time around.
I hope you're right, Shepard. Our children's children will pay the price if you're not.
We'll be waiting
Wait for
for your
it.
next report, Commander.
And there it is. Hey guys, I want to talk about how Benezia, I killed her, and she gave Saren the coordinates for a specific relay that I don't know where it goes. No? We don't care about that? You don't care that that's in the report? I know the Rachni thing is important, but no? Not important? Okay, just making sure. Apparently that's not important. These conversations with the Citadel Council are redonkulous. Constantly redonkulous. What quest do I even have left? I gotta do that. I gotta show you that. This, I feel like showing you. And there's a bunch of new systems that opened up that I have to do off camera. So I'll probably do those off camera. And all these guys here. In Mass Effect 2, there's they start having ambient dialogue with the crew members. It's a really cool touch. I like it. It's a really nice touch to make the crew feel a little bit more alive. And then 3, they go off the rails with it. It's really nice.
Why am I glad to be off of Noveria?
Seth Green, oh, I missed you. God, I was on Noveria for too long. I'm so glad it's over.
Freeze your balls off.
So glad.
Sell them out from under you.
And that's his dialogue for that.
Respect, Commander.
I have to go.
I have to go.
All right, see.
Peace out, Beansprout. Oh god. So we're gonna spend this episode doing the crew dialogue. Sorry, I don't know if it's, I don't know if any of you find that boring or not, but that's what we're gonna do. You gonna salute to me with your weird blonde hair? Fair enough. So we're gonna have a little chit chat with the crew. Yo, where the crew at? Alright. Where the crew at? Oh right, I have stuff in my locker. Yo, where my locker at? This stuff is okay. I should save. Because screw this level. Screw Noveria. I'm never going back there. I'm pretty sure I'm never going back there. But let's talk to Liara. We're gonna do all our rounds. This is like the only mission I think where you don't have to talk to Liara right after, or like she doesn't have to go to the med bay. After Thurum she has to go. After Pharos she has to go. Assuming you have her when you go to Pharos. And then after, well, spoilers, Vermeer, you have to go again. Yo, what up, shawty? It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Oh yeah, your mom's dead.
You need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you.
God, the mood lighting in this room is super romantic, and I feel like they told Shepard to just have the romantic tones.
I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
I like
Thanks.
talking with you, Liara. No matter what the subject.
Then let us talk about you. Are
Heart
you
flutter.
okay?
Nightmares, I guess. If we assume that the visions are happening frequently, then we can say nightmares, I guess. But I'll say why.
What do you mean?
You need to take care of yourself, Commander. The crew relies on you for leadership. It can be a heavy burden.
The crew's not the problem. I'm good with the crew.
I can handle the responsibility of command, but if I don't stop Saren, the entire galaxy...
I'm more frustrated with the council.
I'm sorry, Commander. The last thing you need is someone constantly reminding you of how grim things are. Is there anything else you would rather talk about?
I should go.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, Commander.
Goodbye, Commander. And Chakwas never has anything to say. There is one point where she will. But it's not now. Hey, Caden. I believe last time we talked to Caden, things got a little hot and heavy under the collar. Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
We haven't had time together since our last chat. It was sad when we talked.
Oh, God. My heart flutters.
You seem decisive then, Lieutenant. Why so hesitant now?
I don't want to distract you too much. The deeper we get into this mess, the bigger it seems. I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is.
Yeah, and after playing Knights of the Old Republic, hearing this guy's voice,
They don't want to see what's coming.
like as Carthonasi, it's super cool. But the dialogue in Kodor is super sped up. Super sped up. Same thing happens with FF10, where the dialogue is... Well, in FF10 is translated from Japanese to English. Well, they have the voice actors do it, but then the editing is bad in that it speeds up certain deliveries, and the tone is wrong when they speed up the editing. And I think they do the same thing with Knights of the Old Republic.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough.
Wow, so we were talking about flirting,
That after what happened with Vernon.
and we just kind of like diverted from that. Caden's a professional, I'll give him that.
I think you'd carry a grudge over the crap you took from Vernus.
Before I met Vernus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what to do. I mean, it's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand them. But it was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana, broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed, you know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do, just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up. A military-issue talon, right in my face. I
Jeez
couldn't
Louise.
lose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as
Whew, whew.
no. At 17, that's something.
I admire Caden a lot. Not only for his biotic strength. I mean primarily about his just personality. Like she said, I don't see you snapping very easily. At the same time, it's like he felt compelled to act based on someone he cared about. And to me, I relate to a lot like that. I relate to Caden a lot in a lot
You
of ways.
wanted to help a girl you cared for. That's a noble thing.
Maybe my intentions were noble, but I lost control. I killed him, Shepard. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. That's funny. I'm not sure which of us got the worst of what happened.
Was Rana all right?
Rana? Yeah, she was fine. We never really, we stopped talking after that.
Tell me what happened.
Rana had a gentle heart. She loved everyone. Vernus terrified her. We all protected her from him. Everyone loved her. But after what I did to him, she was terrified of me too. Anyway, this is had a point here. Aliens are individuals. Just because one's
He gets a little bit more flustered
I mean, they all are.
than when Male Shepherd talks about it.
So, yeah, I hated that Turian, but he wasn't a Turian to me. He was Virtus.
I'm glad you think like that.
And here I was concerned you were damaged goods.
I've got a few scratches and dents. Hope they just give me character. I don't think we'll be operating without support for much longer. Pretty soon, not even the council will be able to ignore what's going on. Glad you'll be here when it's over, Shepard. I'm looking forward to some shore leave.
Ooh.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezia anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway. they
Something
should
like that,
set
yeah.
back a bit. I'm sure Dr. Tassoni's hurting though. Poor kid. Having to kill her own mom.
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record, if we had
Always.
the option, I'd as soon have left it to the council. We were now
See, yeah, see?
in the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
We'll talk later, Caden.
I'd like that.
I like Caden so much. Hearing him flirt is so adorable. I love it. I love him. I don't think, you know what? I've never done a Caden romance before. I was still thinking about what I'm going to do for this playthrough. And subsequently for the trilogy. But I don't know. I'm still thinking some things over. In terms of role-playing and what I want to show for the game itself and the series. I don't know.
Looking
I'm
for
conflicted
supplies?
about what I'm going to do. We'll see.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
You bet, Commander. You got it, Commander. Yeah, the 7 variants I have. Yep, I have the 7 variants. I have to wait for the X variants. That's fine, though. Do. Hey, Rex.
Shepard,
So
Oh,
you'd
damn
rather
his
be a
voice.
merc than help your people.
I'm a fighter. It's what I do.
It's what I
Aren't
do.
you at all worried about what will happen to the Krogan?
What the hell do you want me to
What the
do
hell
about
do you
it,
want me to
Shepard?
do about it, Shepard?
I'm
Alright, I'm gonna stop doing that.
my ass on the line and getting nothing for it.
So you're just giving up on your people?
I gave up on fighting for a lost cause. I'm no hero, Shepard. Bottom line, killing for credits simplifies things.
I suppose.
You ever think about helping your people?
I try not to.
I appreciate Rex's character. And this is ultimately why I think he's better than Drac, is because Drac already wants, is already in the position Rex is in Mass Effect 2.
Part of the job.
Where he's helping his people, but Rex isn't there yet. By the end of this game, that's what he decides to do. And that's a little unfair, because Rex gets 2 games to do that, /3, and Drac has 1 game to just be himself the whole time.
How long have you been a merc?
Long enough. I took my first
Long enough.
contract right after I left my home system. It's good work if it doesn't kill you.
I get the feeling you enjoy your work.
Sure. You get to see the galaxy on someone else's credits, and most days end with a good fight. I've tried more organized fighting, private armies and such, but it gets too messy. I fight best on my own, or in very small groups. I don't like people relying on me, and I bloody well don't like relying on them.
Have I heard this one before? I don't know.
Shepard.
Bro. Hey, Ash.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure, if you have time. Figured you'd be busy with tactical briefings and whatnot. Don't know what I think about us attacking today, of all days. Kind of an ill omen.
Oh, it's, yeah, Armistice
You
Day.
mean on the anniversary of the first contact war?
The end of it, yeah. My family always marks it. I'm the only Williams here. I guess you'd be the only other one interested in it.
Seems like an odd thing to celebrate. That was 26 years ago.
I think most of these characters are like in their 30s.
Celebration, more like an
Tally's like, I think, early 20s.
Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commander.
So here we go.
It's not
Ashley's background, finally. We're gonna get exactly what's been holding her back in her career.
There's almost nothing in your files. Technical scores and a list of crap assignments.
There's a reason for the crap assignments. I'm General Williams' granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
I see. That's why you drive yourself so hard.
A Williams has to be better than the best, if only to avoid suspicion. That's what my dad told me the night before he retired. Takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command.
So yes, during First Contact, when the Turians were fighting the humans at the colony planet of Shanxi, and they had an orbital blockade, Ashley's granddad was one of the commanding officers there, and he surrendered to save his soldiers.
To get him exonerated in some official way.
And she's gonna tell us actually right now, and that puts a little bit of a black name of that blacklists him
The Turians wrecked the
in terms of people. But yeah, see, look,
occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops, but when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians.
the Turians definitely overreacted with the First Contact
He
war.
couldn't contact Alliance High Command, so he surrendered the garrison.
Yeah,
He refused to sacrifice his men just to save face for humanity. You planning to throw yourself on a sword to save face for him?
Would it make a difference? He's gone now. Dad's gone too. And who would it impress? I'll never be good enough for the Alliance.
oh no,
So now you know. Gonna kick me off the ship, Skipper?
hell no.
You're a valuable part of my crew, Williams. If I want an opinion from the head, I go to Alenko. When I want one from the heart, I go to you.
I also play a mean game of pool. But anyway, I've got things to do before we...
Ashley's great. Like, these characters are why BioWare is so successful. It's like they have these backstories, they explain them plainly, they have a sufficient amount of build-up, they react to them like humans, and they don't obsess over them, but they do use them as moments of self-definement. And Ashley's personality, aside from that history, shines through, where it's just like, and Shepard says a great comment, where Alenko gives a very thoughtful response to questions, Ashley gives one just from the gut, how she feels. Like, this is how I feel this is happening. And she answers back with, I also play pool. Like, it's dumb, but it works. It just works in its simplicity. It's not the best writing in the world, but for video game writing, it's pretty good.
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Skipper.
Yeah.
They proved that 2000.
And at this point, if you were a male Shepard, if you were interested in romancing Ashley, it would have escalated by now.
But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. If you haven't talked to Dr. Tassoni, you probably should. She just lost her mom.
Yeah, both Ashley and Caden comment on that.
Saying, Skipper.
No, I already did.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Ashley's great. She's great. Fantastic. Fantastic,
Commander,
baby.
what can I do for you?
Something bothering you?
It's Saren. I'm starting to wonder whether we'll ever find him. He's always one step...
This dialogue, I think it's repeated later.
Geth.
We're getting close, Garrus. We'll find him.
I wish I had your confidence. I just can't... I know you're doing everything you can, and if anyone can catch him, it's you, but if there's anything else I can do to help, anything, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it.
I understand your concern, but we will find him. Just make sure you're ready to go when we do.
Yes, ma'am. You can count on me. Thanks for hearing me out. I appreciate it. Can I ask you something, Commander?
What is it?
Are you worried that the Council might be protecting Saren? I mean, they were really dragging their heels before. What if we find him, bring him back to the Citadel, and they refuse to act?
I get the feeling this isn't a question. Speak your mind, Garrus.
Well, maybe we shouldn't give them the chance, Commander. In my opinion, Saren's too dangerous to be kept alive. Too much could happen. He could escape, or the Council might let him go. If we find him, when we find him, I say we make sure we stop him permanently.
So kill him. Has there ever been talked about so far about whether or not we'll actually capture Saren or kill him? And honestly, it's really a shame that that's not a decision we actually get to make later. But I appreciate the sentiment, and I like that it's being talked about, especially with Garrus' specific background and loyalty quest.
It'll depend on the situation.
And the fact that there's a dog barking in the background.
Anything until I've got him in my sights.
Fair enough. Either way, I'm right behind you, Commander.
Thanks, Garrus. You the best. You the best. The best I ever had. I want you forever now. I can spend whatever on it. And get it up. And then right down. And then I get it up. Alright. I don't think she has anything to say.
It feels like
oh no.
Near the end,
She does.
Doesn't it, Shepard? With Saren, I mean.
It won't be much longer.
One way or another, this Let's Play will be over soon.
You'll find the conduit before he does. I know you will.
I hope so.
You have to. And after this is all over, when my pilgrimage ends and I go back to my own people, I'll be proud to say I was a part of it.
Heck yeah. An important part.
We couldn't have done this without you, Tali.
You've been good to me. A lot of people treat Quarians like second-class citizens. They just want us to go back to our fleet and disappear. But you've treated me just like everyone else on your fleet.
Oh.
Like an equal. That means a lot, and it says something about you. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you for that.
I'm gonna miss you when you go back to your own people, Tali.
That won't happen for a while yet. I'll be right here anytime you need me.
Anytime you need me.
I should go.
I'll be here.
See you later.
Anytime you need me, I'll be here. But yeah, so Tali gets a lot of flack in terms of criticism because she mostly just dumps exposition about the Quarians because they're not very present in this game. I think she's the only one in the entire game represent her people and the Geth, and so she has to be like kind of an encyclopedia at times. But she does have moments of pretty good delivery and character and personality. It gets expanded upon in Mass Effect 2, but for this game, yeah, it's there's not too much to go on. Same thing with Garrus. Rex at the very least has some kind of interplay with the plot that we'll see upcoming. For now, though, we have enough time to do the quest I want to do, so we'll go do that. Because I want to show it off and talk a little bit about it. So let's go get down to business. Do this quest. And maybe I'll curse over and show you some other parts. Let me see. No. Yeah. This one I'm going to show you guys too. I don't know. I'm at what level am I at? 45. That's pretty good. In one playthrough, I can usually get to like 53 or 55. Something like that. We got Vermeer. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. We're not gonna go to... Did I show us Pinnacle Station? I'm not gonna go do anything with it, but... I did Six Data. I think I did... No? No. Six Data I have to do. That's optional stuff. Armstrong I did. Kepler Verge I did. I have to reach back in my memory a little bit. Sigma I did. Voyager I think I did. This one has a new one pop up in it. No, I think Voyager's the one I need to do. Or I did parts of Voyager. Star Trek Voyager, that is. Local cluster is where that one mission is. So let's... Let me just look at what it wants me to go. Cerberus. Where is it? Yeah, the Yanks system and the Voyager cluster. Alright. Alright. So we're gonna go over Voyager. If there's enough time, I don't think there will be. But for this episode, we'll go to the local cluster too. Or should I do it now? No, I'll save it. Yanks. There you go. This might lead to another quest, is the issue. Bye. You make me beg for it until I get enough. Brr, it's cold in here. There must be some Tauros in the atmosphere. Masow! Sweet.
Message coming in.
Oh, here we go.
Patching it through.
Commander, I'm glad you're in the area. We've got an emergency situation, and you're the only one I can trust to get the job done.
Oh! I know this mission. Should I show you this one? I don't know. We'll see. But, what's going on?
How can I help, Admiral?
Biotic fanatics.
Yep, this is the one.
Research station with a psychotropic.
This is the one. Usually after you do Major Kyle and have a high enough Paragon score, they give you this one.
And the biotics are effective.
So I mentioned this in one of the previous episodes. When you have a lot of Paragon or Renegade scores, you get a Paragon or Renegade dependent quest. This one, they expect you to kill all the bad guys without killing any hostiles.
So if I shoot
they expect you to kill all the enemies and clear them all out without damaging any civilians.
The team could handle the biotics, but a lot of innocent researchers would die during the...
I don't actually know if you can use the nerve gas here that you get from Pharaohs. I feel like you probably can't. I feel like that only works on Pharaohs.
I'll take the biotics down, Admiral, and I'll try to limit the casualties.
I know you will, Commander. I'm sending you the station coordinates now.
So he gets very upset if you screw this up. I want to look up where that is, but I'll drop down on the planet and figure it out. I think it's Hades Gamma. I think both the optional missions are in Hades Gamma. Like they open up 2 more clusters there, and then you can just visit them there. Alrometer? No. Whatever. There it is. Let's go! Alright. Blam blam. Because why not? Woo! I wish I could see that in first person. Just land on. I have a really big fondness for gimmicks in terms of like orbital descent. Halo ODST is great with that. It like you descend from orbit into the planet's surface, and it's so much fun. I love it. It's great. It's damn it. Okay, blam, blam. All right. I just want it all to be even. Okay. But yeah, it's such a cool gimmick. There was this other game I used to play, like it was like, it was called something, and I totally forget what it is. What's this? Okay, I gotta go here. But I totally forget what the game is. I play like a beta of it, where like you have it's like an Iron Man suit, and the way you spawn into the level is by crashing down and decelerating on time. Oh, it's great. I love orbital entry types of gimmicks in sci-fi games. I think it's one of the best things ever, and I love it with Titanfall too. Titanfall does that as well. It's so much fun. I wish I could see like a first-person perspective of like this falling here. Okay. I'm pretty sure I said this, but I once got stuck on a mineral deposit because it shot like that thing through my character model, and I ended up being stuck for a while, and that was really annoying. It was very annoying. But we're here dealing with who are we dealing with? Oh, what's this? This is on, yeah, Hades Gamma. So we're gonna investigate Cerberus. And I guess I'm spending this episode talking about Cerberus for as long as I can. Excuse me? Whoop. Damn it. So Cerberus is probably one of the worst things to happen to the Mass Effect series. In terms of execution and pervasiveness in the series at large. Cerberus in this game is presented initially as a rogue Black Ops Alliance group that as a rogue Black Ops Alliance group that serves to just do weird, creepy experiments and behind the scenes stuff. You know, like like all the things you think the CIA do. You know, with like regards to other countries and such. And they have no real goal in this game. In Mass Effect 2, it gets stated that their goal is the betterment of humanity against alien influence. And the comic that gets released about them is basically along the lines of, you know, protecting themselves against non-human interests. And they get compared to other alien programs that kind of function similarly. Let's see. That function similarly, like Solarian STG, Asari Commando. It's like they all have their own special species groups that handles things both locally and internationally, but humans don't have that. They just have their military, and that's it. No. Sorry, I just want to make sure there's anything. No, nothing useful here. Good gun? Good gun. Wait a minute. Okay, I was about to say, like, even I don't have a 3-slot gun, and I do. Right. I think you need to use my pistol for this. So in this game, they're basically just mad scientists. They do crazy research that doesn't really have too much of a purpose, but, like, they theorize what some of the purpose is. Like, what's in here? I can't tell what's in there. God damn it. Yes, thank you, thank you. Got him. So we're gonna open this up. And the reason I waited is because there's Rachni here, and it would have spoiled the surprise of what happens on Noveria. So there's Rachni workers here, there's Rachni, just Rachni straight up on a different area, and there's there's Thorian creepers on another station. There are 3 stations on this planet that we're doing experiments on for shock troopers. And so that's just their goal. Like, they're using shock troopers just for that purpose, you know, expendable shock troopers so they can use in case they ever need to wage war on other species. It's not altogether clear. It's just mad scientist shenanigans for the sake of it. You know, I'm gonna keep my gun out. And so their implementation here is just like, oh, they're just kind of like this evil, shadowy organization. We already have the Shadow Broker, but the Shadow Broker is an intergalactic force that interacts with all different communities and species and factions. Cerberus just functions primarily with human domain and human interests. This one. And so what ends up happening in Mass Effect 2 is to become a major force in Mass Effect 2 that basically, and this is I mentioned this before, politics in Mass Effect universe are really terrible, because basically in order to make someone look intelligent, what the Mass Effect writers usually do is they make someone else look stupid, which thereby makes everything super frustrating because no one is cooperating or offering sound arguments a lot of the time. And that's usually how they make someone look intelligent. They make someone else look stupid. So in Mass Effect 2, the setup is that, without going too much into spoilers, there's a new threat that has to do with the threat from this game, and they have to the council doesn't listen to you about what the threat is, even though they're not believing you here, and we're obviously going to prove them right about what the threat is. They're choosing not to believe us. No one helps us, and then in order to make Cerberus seem friendly and not like horrible genocidal war criminals, what ends up happening is we get to work for them. And the argument is, well, no one else is going to work with us because we're working with Cerberus. Well, Cerberus is only working with us because no one will work with us. And it's this ridiculous back and forth. And then it's okay, so we're forced to work with Cerberus, which is in Mass Effect 2 commented as a terrorist organization. Some of the people in Cerberus aren't that bad, but it turns out in Mass Effect 3 they tell you that, oh, it is that bad. They were just hiding it from you throughout the whole game. So you have a contradictory evil empire force that is capable technologically of 1,000 different things is the issue. And I know, and that's true because they get like all these different abilities. Like in this game, they're basically classified as they're the super force that handles things behind the scenes, and that's it. They don't have too much power aside from just little things here and there on the side. And that's not too bad. That's a reasonably acceptable force. They can't operate out in the open, but they do shady things here and there. And that's why they can do things on this scale, because they use secrecy and they have a limited number of resources. Jesus Christ, this guy was that. Stop. Oh god, another commando. Do you have neural shock? Yes, please use neural shock. Thanks. Caden, can you? Yes. Okay. Is there another one? Oh, don't float up through the wall. Oh, no, he's there. I had an enemy, I think, here that had floated up through the wall and I couldn't kill him. And it wouldn't clear the checkpoint. That's why I save all the time. It's because this game has so many bugs. But In Mass Effect 2, Cerberus has the ability not only to be secret, but they have their own space stations, they have their own logos. There's no logos here. They have their own logos, they have their own manpower, they can create their own ships, they can create super weapons all the time. And it's like, it's baffling. Like, I thought they were a secret organization, but everyone and their mom not only knows about them, recognizes their symbols, and is familiar with all their activity that has happened in a 2-year span. Like, it's beyond ridiculous what Cerberus is capable of. And then in Mass Effect 3, they take it a step further. Where in Mass Effect 2, they presented them as being this not black and white thing. They're shades of gray that you could maybe use to your benefit, and you can make an argument for why they work and why they exist. But then in Mass Effect 3, they just say, no, they're evil. Maybe their goals were somewhat okay, but like it turns out they're just plain evil. And also they have the power now to build hundreds of spaceships and fleets, and they're recruiting hundreds of millions of people and using them for fodder. And it's just like their capabilities just shoot through the window, and it descends more and more into this human versus human conflict when it should be about this interspecies conflict that's happening across a galaxy. And that's the problem with Cerberus. And one of the comics was the worst about it, where they were in Mass Effect 3. There's a Cerberus agent that gets introduced into a DLC, in the Citadel DLC, and her name is Maya Brooks, I think, but she goes under a variety of names, but we know her as Maya Brooks. And basically what happens is they develop a little background comic for her, and it turns out she's the one that provides a lot of the groundwork for the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens in Mass Effect 2. So they basically just shove her and other Cerberus agents into every panel of pre-Mass Effect 2 material. Like, she hung out with Rex one time, she met Garrus, she met this person, she met this person. Like, it makes Cerberus seem like they're everywhere. They're even in Andromeda. They're in Mass Effect Andromeda. They're not there in large, but there's a bunch of speculative theories about who helped start the Andromeda Initiative, and it's like, oh, maybe it was Cerberus, you know. And there is a Cerberus agent, a former Cerberus agent, that fled to Andromeda because they were scared about Cerberus influence. But even in Andromeda, they're still doing Cerberus-like acts. They're still committing terrorist acts in the name of a greater good. And it's the same garbage they were doing in the previous games. I can't hit this cannon. There you go. Oh, I forgot to get the thing. But Cerberus is like one of the worst ideas that has ever entered this franchise, because it's ruined everything else. It's just made a lot of different ideas and concepts laughable. And they're constantly being treated as this contradictory thing where, like, oh, they're the good guys, oh, they're the bad guys, or they're the gray guys, you know, they work in between. I'm like, oh, no, they're just evil. It's like, oh, no, they're super secret, except they're everywhere. So they have all the power in the world, except they're also super secret, and they're capable of everything, except when they're not capable of everything, because you can beat them. So what happened to all the resources they had? And it's ridiculous, and half the Cerberus experiments and ideas don't pan out. In this game, we see that. They tried. There's a sequence here where they tried to get Thorian creepers to work for them. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Because the Thorian dies and the experiment freaks out on them. The Rachni, they try to. There's gonna be a mission upcoming. I'm not gonna show it to you just because it's a little boring and it doesn't offer all that much. But there's a mission where they're funneling Rachni in between cargo ships, and the person on the ship says, "Oh, the Rachni got smart enough that they got out of their cages." And they're fighting back. We're going to set the ship to self-destruct. So screw this. The Rachni are not worth it. And in Mass Effect 2, they try to talk about, like, oh, that's a different cell. That was a different department in Cerberus that was responsible for that. Not everyone gets kind of their own leeway. And I'm like, that sounds super irresponsible. But the idea is in Cerberus, it's like, oh, if you act with limited oversight, you can accomplish more yourself. But it gets just ridiculous after a time. It's like, how can a group function with no oversight? There has to be some oversight, and this looks pretty good. Let me just put that on really quick. Oh, that's great. That's really great. Okay. Fantastic, baby.
I will destroy you!
Okay, I got one. I think the Rachni fight the enemies here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a firefighter right now. Oop. I don't use a lot of cover, if you haven't noticed. But also these rooms are like the enemies will flank you or they won't flank you sometimes. Whoops. Okay. I can't use a shotgun anymore. Okay, got him.
One last stop to make, Commander. We owe Kahoku that.
So, here's Kahoku.
Good, Commander.
We didn't make it. Kahoku is dead. He is dead, and they left him in a field of, well, not a field, left him in a room with the Rachni. And this is why I used the Rachni room last, because Kahoku always appears in the last station you attack. So it'd be really weird if he was just in a room with tiny bugs. You check for a pulse, but find none. Admiral Kahoku is dead. Despite the ferocity of the creatures he was sealed in with, there are no signs of trauma on his corpse. The needle marks on his arm suggest a different means of execution. So, this doesn't make any sense. They injected him with something. That means they probably killed him because they show needle marks on his arm. But then they threw him in a cage with crazy monsters. So, don't know what they were trying to do, but the presentation here is clear. They're evil, crazy people who'd conduct crazy experiments.
Oh God, it's Admiral Kahoku.
It is Admiral Kahoku.
Cerberus must have tracked him down.
They did track him down, and they brought him here, and they murdered him. So now, we have a new mission, Hades' Dogs. If we go to the Noveria in the Columbia system of the Voyager cluster, we can destroy Cerberus' facility. So, the main issue is Cerberus just keeps getting presented back and forth as this force that's good, not good, doesn't matter. It's like, oh, ends justify the means. But then it becomes this ridiculous argument for just this force that has no point existing inside this universe. It becomes baffling, and this is just a retextured level of the Noveria stuff. I guarantee you that's just retextured. And it's like, it becomes laughable and ridiculous, and it's one of the worst things that's happened to the Mass Effect series. Just Cerberus just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. As an ally, as a rational force, as an antagonist, they eat up time that could be better spent doing something else. And it's ridiculous. In Mass Effect 3, they literally just keep buying you more time to do stupid stuff. It's patently off the walls, and one of the reasons why I think the series has had so much trouble is because they kept doing this presentation of something in the game world. The next quest with Cerberus ends with them, what's it called? It ends with you destroying the base. You don't really get to talk to anybody. When you get back to the ship, the Shadow Broker contacts you and says, hey, Kahoku promised me the data in exchange for the location of Cerberus in order to take them down. You owe me the data. And Shepard has a decision of whether or not to give them the data. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything in the future. I think you get some credits for doing it, but it doesn't affect anything. It's just a little bit of a tease of larger politics in the world. I don't know if they had a plan to do it in the future, but it is what it is. And I think just that's the conversation I wanted to have about Cerberus. And it's easier when we go to Mass Effect 2 to have these conversations, because I can point to specific examples of why this doesn't work and this doesn't work. But that's basically the gist of it at this point in time. And Cerberus is one of the most frustrating parts of the Mass Effect series. And that's unfortunate, because there are some decent ideas behind them. They just get executed so poorly. And contradictory, like I said. So, let's see. We have a couple of new missions. Hades Dogs. This one I might show you, just so I can show you how hard it is, or what my strategy is for it, but I don't know yet. I probably won't show you Hades Dogs, because I already talked about what I wanted for Cerberus, and I kind of want to be done with them right now. I'll show you Rogue VI. Alright, so I'll clean up everything I have here. I'll clean up Styx Theta, and then what I'll do is I'll clean up, I'll come back, we'll do Rogue VI, we'll do Bring Down the Sky, we'll finish up with Vermeer, and then that should probably be like, Bring Down the Sky I mentioned before should probably be like probably like 3 episodes, maybe like two or 3 episodes. If we mix it in with Rogue VI, it'll probably be a little bit longer. But that's gonna be when that happens. This is episode 18. part 18, I think, of the retrospective. I think we can get it in under 30 episodes. I think we can do this under 30 parts. We can finish everything. Because after Virmire, that's it. We're just about good to go. And Virmire is super linear. And I thinking back now, I appreciate that. I always had some ideas in my head for making Virmire less linear, having a little bit of a hub to do some side objectives before the main mission. But as it stands now, I think Virmire is fine for the most part. All the missions, well, Ferris and Noveria have a lot of like open branchedness to what you can accomplish. But I think it balances out relatively nice enough. But we'll talk about that when we get there. For now, thank you for listening to me ramble about stuff. We'll see what happens. I have to think about what I'm going to do for Caden, and for anybody who played this game, what I'm going to do for the story going forward, especially on Virmire, because it's been racking my brain and I haven't come up with what I'm going to do yet. I'm close to knowing what I'm going to do, but we shall get there when we get there. And thanks for getting there with me. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Wave furiously.